What's up, y'all? Shook here, back with another video on the Holy Paladin, doing some 3v3 with Plum on his Beast Mastery Hunter and Sorgal on his Enhancement Shaman. I took about a 3-week break from uploading videos, was playing some alts, and we were gearing Plum's Hunter so we could change comps. But a little bit more on that later in the video. This is the build that I am running. It's been the same for, the last several weeks. I'm pretty much running this in 2s and 3s. This is the gear that I'm rocking. I'm finally fully geared. I'm missing like one socket and just full PvP gear at this point. It is also the BG bonus week and comp stomp, so if you need to farm honor, this is a great week to do that. But that's enough of all that. Let's get into the games. So this first match is against a sub rogue and an affliction warlock and a mistweaver. This was pretty much our first queue session with this comp. So you're gonna see, Plum is still learning Hunter. He's still learning, a lot of like the scenarios and what to do. And we were actually playing at about 2k to 21, I think we peaked at 2120 MMR, so definitely not bad considering, Plum has never played Hunter in 3s. He's played it in 2s with me on my priest, a few seasons here and there just to get like the elite sets, but it's 3s is completely different than 2s especially. So I do go ahead and use lay on hands there because they are pumping, all kinds of big damage. The rogue has already used shadowy duel, but there is his dance. Looks like Plum's going to trap him on the dance just so I can kind of catch up a little bit. I was trying to juke there for a second to see if I could bait a kick. And you can see on my Omni bar there at the bottom that it's basically tracking his shadowy duel, so I have to be really wary of that. I don't want someone to be like half health when that comes off cooldown if I can help it. He did get the kick on me there. Sorgal does have him in a lightning lasso. I'm going to DR Hodge him back here, and we're kind of just smacking him behind the pillar. He does go ahead and use his banish. It looks like we got the trinket from the Mistweaver when we got the full trap. Here's another dance by the rogue. It is about to fade. I'm just trying to kind of pick everybody up. You can see the haunt on me, and it looks like soul rot is also on me. So we're going to have to be a little bit careful here. You can see Plum is going to scatter the warlock and go over here and try and trap the monk. He does get the trap on the monk. I don't have my bubble available, but it looks like we have just a ton of pressure and we do take down the rogue. So kind of a hectic match there. I could have played that one a little bit better by juking that kick. And so kind of the elephant in the room is Plum swapping to Hunter over DK, right? It's just one of those things where our comp, we weren't even really able to compete with some of those, other teams running our comp. And if you look at kind of the statistics on EU, there are now more blood DKs at higher rating than Unholy DK. I think they, over nerfed Unholy just a little bit too much because they also buffed everything that is good against Unholy, right? So it was kind of a double whammy effect where I think they over nerfed it and they also buffed the things that are just, good against it. And BM Hunter is just really, really powerful, even still after, the nerfs. Looks like Sorgal is using his grounding here. I'm going to go ahead and use Hand of Sacrifice. I don't want to let myself get too low or it's going to cancel it. But I am able to kind of stabilize here. Playing this one just a little bit sloppy, but like I said, we haven't queued any in several weeks, so I was a little bit rusty for these games, but I was happy that we were able to still play at like a decent MMR with this comp for the first time. So I goofed there where I used my Blessing of Protection. You've heard me say in the past you always want to use Blessing of Protection for Mark for Death, and that time I did it on the wrong target and it almost cost us here. You can see them just kind of chunking Sorgal even through Sacrifice. I do have Tears Deliverance rolling, and I would have been able to hold a bunch of cooldowns had I not had that just goof happen. You can see we are going to get the Paladin's bubble here. We're just kind of pumping damage into the rogue again. We do proc his cheat death. You You see Plum put his interrupt into the boomkin. I am trinketing the root beam here, but Plum can actually freedom me out of that, so that's another big misplay. Plum is running the pet that can remove roots, and so that's easily, like, we can save my trinket both times there. I think both times I trinketed were on root beam, so big blunder on that one. It's easier for him to just freedom me out of the root and save my trinket. But again, that's just one of those things where as we get more comfortable with the comp, as we play it a lot more, we'll get better at these strategies. We also weren't in Discord for these, so that's why a lot of the stuff isn't as coordinated as it probably should have been, like me calling out for grounding for traps and stuff like that. Looks like they're going to go Plum, and it looks like we are hitting the warrior, and we're kind of just like splitting actually. I'm going to get feared here, and hopefully Sorgal can trimmer me, but it looks like he doesn't see it. So I do actually end up eating that fear, but I'm able to recover because I have wings rolling. Do want to get a Hodge onto the priest. It just came off cooldown, but I'm going to get trapped here. So here comes the trap. I'm going to trinket a little bit late and use Aura Mastery. There is ultimate penitence, and we want to get out of LOS of that. You can see Plum kind of running over there, scattering the warrior. And he slowed the warrior over there. We're all just kind of rotting at this point. I do have both blessing and protections available, but keep in mind with double dispel, it's pretty easy for them to get off. So right here, I'm just trying to pick everybody up. Looks like we do get the swap from the priest. I wasn't quick enough with the juke there, so I'm going to go ahead and use my blessing and protection. I'm actually going to bubble as well because I'm worried about him just insta purging it off. Here comes the mass dispel. I'm going to Hodge him. Was a little bit too slow, but we do end up getting the kill on the warrior right there. So notice how much quicker these matches are going than if you've watched any of our older videos. You know, it's kind of like a rot type thing. And I put this match in here just to kind of show why we swapped comps, right? So this was the same week as those Beastcleave matches. And I want you to guess the MMR of this game right here, and also pay attention to how long this game lasts compared to the Beastcleave games. Now, I don't think Beastcleave is like S tier. It's not like Feral, Shadow Priest, or Jungle Cleave or stuff like that, but it's definitely in the A tier. Like, it's up there where you can at least compete with the other teams, whereas, you know, Unholy DK Enhance is just garbage tier. Like, it's absolutely terrible. And we're fighting another garbage tier comp, which is LE Ret Paladin. Like, this comp's not that great either, but even then, it's still better than Enhance Unholy DK. So I do get cloned here, and like I said, regardless of this match, me being rusty, like those mistakes, it shouldn't make this big of a difference, and you'll see what I mean at the end of the match. So right here, we're kind of even on mana. You can see Sorgal drop Grounding Totem there. He's trying to mitigate some damage. It looks like they're trying to root, so I'm going to go ahead and give him the freedom. Plum is running the team AMS. You can see the shaman tossing out just like a ton of meatballs. They're just flying all over the place. He does have Ascendance for a few more seconds. I want to run over here, cast Tears Deliverance, just so I can kind of get that up. Also had some people ask about kind of a GCD tracker. So I did download TrueFi GCD. I didn't have them for these games, but I should have them in some of the future videos. But if you look on Gladius EX, kind of to the right of our the bars here, you can see what GCDs I'm actually using. Like, it shows a little icon for what I'm pressing. So just for those that really wanted that, it should help until I get to the matches where I actually had the TrueFi GCD running. I am going to go ahead and use Blessing Protection here, kind of have everybody topped. You can see me and the Druid are kind of even on mana. I don't want to get hodged out in the open because I am definitely a kill target if he, you know, if they can both connect on me and the shaman can do like one shot. You can see him going for kind of the LA Blast right here. I'm going to pop wings to counter that. We get sank on the Druid, so he kind of sanks him out. Druid's just trying to keep everybody topped. They have a lot of defensives that we have to go through. You know, Blessing of Protection, they have Sank for the Druid, they have Lay on Hands, and they also have Grounding. So this is kind of a tanky team, so to speak. Like, they want to kind of roll into dampening, but That's kind of the strat for our comp as well. So I'm going to go back here, get Tears Deliverance back up. Plum does get the double blind going. We have everybody grouped up, so this is kind of where our comp shines. We should be able to do big spread pressure. We get the Strangulate on the Druid, and I'm going to Hodge the Ret Paladin over here just so he can't help the Druid. He gets out of it, and he does go ahead and Hodge me. I noticed that the Ret Paladin's Trinket isn't showing up on the bar. That probably means that he's not even wearing one, and he's just using the human racial for stuns, which is kind of interesting. I don't see a lot of Ret Pallies do that. It looks like Plum popped his A-bomb, so I'm kind of just trying to run back towards the A-bomb so it can do a little bit of damage. There is the Iron Bark. Looks like the A-bomb's a little bit confused. It's just kind of standing there. And that's a lot of Plum's damage, so it's kind of unfortunate. Here's the Ascendance coming out for 15 seconds, so this is when it's going to get really, really scary. You're going to see the Ellie do, you know, a bunch of damage if we don't lock him down. Looks like there's also Heart of the Wild from the Druid, so he can cast Wraths or do whatever, and he's also in tree form, so his Wraths are instant cast. And they're going for the one-shot on me. It is going to get my bubble. There's no reason to risk it there. Just worth trading the bubble because we're both almost completely anyway. And cast Tears Deliverance. Barely got it off before he got the Hodge on me. And it looks like they're still doing big damage to Sorgal. Druid looks like he is getting another tree form proc. Kind of getting all the hots up here. There's the Stormkeeper from the Ellie Shaman. I'm going to go ahead and Hodge him. It was DR'd. Going to go for the Searing Glare. I do get the Searing Glare on him, so that was kind of lucky. You can see the spells that he's tossing out are missing there a little bit. And again, I am completely a kill target at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and use my wall, trying to get around the corner because I don't have bubble available. I don't really want to swap Beacon at this point because you can see they're still kind of going for Sorgal. I could probably swap the second Beacon from Plum to me, but again, that costs mana, and we're currently winning barely on mana, so I want to play as efficient as I can. We still have one Blessing of Protection. Again, the Shaman's going to go for me. Looks like the Ret has damage up. This is going to get my Lay on Hands. You can see how dangerously low I got there. I don't think we have the AMS up. I Hodged the Ret up here out of LOS. Going to use Searing Glare on him. And it looks like the Druid went for a drink. He got a little bit of mana back there. So I'm thinking about trying to go for a drink. They just popped cooldowns on me, but it looks like Sorgal is going to be in trouble. He does wall there, a little bit low. There's grounding. I'm going to go ahead and use Blessing of Protection on him. Unfortunately, I thought they were standing and fighting, so that's just kind of an unfortunate waste of Blessing of Protection. I do have Blessing of Summer back up, so I don't have enough mana to really use it offensively, so I go ahead and toss it on Sorgal. So now the more damage he does, the more healing it's going to do. I'm going to go ahead and pop wings here. This is kind of like my last ditch effort. The Druid has already lost all the mana that he did get. You can see the Shaman kind of popping his burst here. So I'm just trying to make him LOS the Druid, pulling him over here. There's the bubble on the Ret Paladin. They do get the clone. It looks like Plum is going to trinket that clone. And we are getting very close to being able to take down the Elemental Shaman, but he does get sacked from the Ret. Again, Druid is completely at this point. I'm completely I have Bop available, and I'm going to use my Blood Elf Racial for just a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and also go for the drink, and we do take down the Ret Paladin over the Ellie. So you see how crazy that game was, how long it was, and how difficult we had to fight, right? Well, that was over 200 MMR lower than what we were queuing at with Beastcleave on our very first session of Beastcleave. So that's why we swapped comps. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry about the vacation that I took. I will be back doing the regular weekly uploads again. Hope you enjoyed this. If you are new here, be sure to subscribe, drop a like, helps me out a ton, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.